fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear, no hate. No ICE in our state, no fear. What do we want? Justice. here.
We are here.
For our seniors.
For our seniors.
We are here.
We are here.
For the homeless.
For the homeless.
We are here.
We are here.
For the veterans.
For the veterans.
We are also here.
We are also here.
For the disabled.
For the disabled.
We're standing up.
We're standing up
For clean hair.
for clean air
And clean water.
and clean water.
But most of all,
And most of all,
we are here
we are here
for each other.
for each other.
Now, hands up, now. Woo! We will not be silenced.
We will not be silent.
We will not hide.
We will not hide.
We will stand up, fight back.
We will stand up, fight back.
Right now,
Right now,
we are under attack.
we are under attack.
But we say,
But we say,
stand up, fight back.
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 We are under attack from every side.
We are under attack from every side.
But we will stand up.
But we will stand up.
And we will fight back
And we will fight back.
for Mother Earth.
For Mother Earth.
Right now,
Right now,
hold on. I want to say a big thank you to Comptroller Flatlander and his team that got me through the crowd. Couldn't have done it without him. New York runs on immigrant labor. From our babies to our elders to big restaurants, hotels, nursing homes. And all the many things that we enjoy in this city. New York loves immigrants.
New York loves immigrants.
It is the immigrants who makes this city move.
It is the immigrants that make this city move.
This vibrant city.
This vibrant city.
This diverse city.
This diverse city.
With delicious food
Whether you lick the food
from all over the world.
from all over the world,
We will not
we will not
let this administration
let this administration
criminalize immigrants.
criminalize immigrants.
They will not
They will not
put us to fight against each other.
put us to fight against each other.
They will not steal Social Security.
They will not steal Social Security.
We will
stand
stand up,
up,
fight back.
fight back.
Some from the billionaires and Eric Adams. They're asking Eric Adams to open his mouth. Open his mouth and protect the people of this city. And if you can't protect the people of this city, you know we have a remedy for you. We're gonna remove you. The recipe for removing Adams and anyone who fight against us is to stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand like a Japanese samurai, ancient
millionaires are cashing in while our planet burns. So, fire, hurricanes, and food shortages are their legacy. The wild animals and places are chasing our president's life and food. We will find them, we will expose them, we will call their names, we will stand up, fight back.
Protect the Constitution, the civil service.
Vicky, you wanna...
Okay,
Protect the Constitution and the civil service.
As long as you're with me, that's what you do.
Protect the Constitution, the civil service. Protect the Constitution and the civil service. Protect the Constitution and the civil service.
As the main driver. Immigrants will be safe, and none of us will be safe until So we are going to start the program, and I would like to introduce to you Director of Community Programming, New York Immigration Coalition. Make some noise for Director
machinery that's oppressing our people. So come on, New York, what's up? My name is Jesus Casado. I use pronouns he, him, él, and I'm the Director of Community Programming at New York Immigration Coalition. Thank you for having me here. So, I want to keep it sweet and short, but I want to let you know that this is a critical moment for our social movement to be in unity, to be in cohesion. This is a moment where immigration, advocacy, and climate advocacy need to come together. A lot of the issues we're having with climate change are because we are forced into systems of oppression in a traumatic. It's a problem of immigrants. The DNA of this city is an immigrant DNA. Let's not forget that, okay?
we talk to them and we say, hey guys, they're not giving you the alternative energy option, shut down oil. And we would come together as a party and go like, all right, put a pause on oil until they put into play these green infrastructures that we need. But if they don't capitulate to us, we must seize that project. Because if they don't see it as profitable, we're not going to go for it.
No fear! Immigrants are welcome here, no hate! 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 No fear!
looks like. This is what democracy 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 looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Someone else read it.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
的国门 with me。
Yeah.
my moves.
We want justice. You say how? Free Omar Garcia now.
The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. United will never be defeated. People united will never be defeated.
Brothers, sisters, and siblings, it's so important that we're out here today, forming this community of resistance against this far-right billionaire agenda unfolding before us. You could have been anywhere this morning, but you're right here in the streets with us. My name is Morgan, and I'm a member of the Answer Coalition. Answer stands for Act Now to Stop War and End Racism. That's a principle of the unity of struggles that we have stood on since our organization was formed 3 days after September 11th, when we knew that a new racist, imperialist, ultra-chauvinist wave of hatred was coming our way. We have been proud to stand against anti-Arab and anti-Muslim racism and hatred. We've been proud to stand with the people of Palestine in their struggle for liberation. And we've been proud to stand with Black America in the struggle against racism, white supremacy, and the ongoing legacy of slavery in this country. We've been proud to stand with women and queer and trans people in the fight against homophobia, transphobia, and patriarchal violence and discrimination and hatred. We believe in the unity of these struggles because we believe that a better world is possible. We believe that we have a common enemy in this billionaire capitalist class. And we believe that only if we struggle together, all of us, can we win and achieve that better world. Since his inauguration in January, U.S. President Donald Trump has launched a shock and awe campaign aimed at implementing the agenda of the far-right billionaire class who supports him. This has included, yes, boo, boo. This has included tearing up the hard-won rights of the labor movement, women, immigrants, and the Black and LGBTQ communities. Simultaneously, he has threatened numerous nations with war, from Greenland to Panama and from China to Iran, and endorsed the renewal of Israel's genocidal campaign against the Palestinian people in Gaza, and the deadly new operations in the West Bank. Trump and his henchmen in so-called Doge have also gutted a myriad of federal programs aimed at meeting the needs of poor and working class people in the U.S. and around the world. As well, as well as scientific programs and agencies engaged in vital work, all in the name of quote-unquote efficiency. At the same time, Trump has introduced a $1 trillion war budget and contracts with the government of El Salvador to heinously and brutally deport immigrants to a concentration camp. Although our communities have sought to resist this far-right agenda since its very earliest days, a new mass resistance movement has burst onto the scene since April 5th, involving millions of people across this country. People just like you, who said enough is enough and showed up in the streets to fight back. We need to understand this movement, if it's sustained, has the potential to stop this far-right agenda in its tracks. Now is the time for us to take to the streets and make our voices be heard. When I say people, you say power. People, power. People, power. People, power. People, power. couple of speakers today come up and talk to you from many of these struggles that we've just mentioned. People engaged in fighting back on all walks of life. So I want to welcome first up a teacher in this city of Washington, D.C., where we see so many of these manifestations of this far-right agenda coming out. We see, first of all, the attack on the Department of Education, on the very principle that education should mean the teaching about our history. We see attacks on the history of black people, on the history of queer and trans people. We see them denying our ability to even talk about racism and homophobia and patriarchy. We see them cutting budgets, not just for the Department of Education, but cutting budgets for teachers, for paras, for substitute teachers, for staff, who are all the people who come together to make the education of our children possible. And the people on the front lines of that struggle, they are the teachers who are responsible for bringing up the next generation of our youth. And it's so powerful that teachers across this country have labor unions that are able to fight for them. And so I want you to welcome up first Ashley from the Washington Teachers Union. Welcome her, clap her as she comes up.
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation.
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation.
Good morning. My name is Ashley, and I am a DCPS educator and a member of the Washington Teachers Union. Since January, we have seen Trump and his billionaire backers wage a direct attack on public education, culminating with his executive order to completely dismantle the Department of Education. Shame.
Shame!
What exactly does the Department of Education do? This department, which was a direct product of the civil rights revolution of the 1970s, has ensured funding for schools with high levels of poverty, resources for English language learners, and programs for students with disabilities. The dismantling of the Department of Ed will entrench and exasperate worsening educational outcomes for students of color, students with disabilities, and students living in poverty. Shame. This is a direct attack on our children from working families and the most recent push towards privatizing education. The privatizing of schools positions education as a commodity, only available for the few that are able to afford it. But we know that education is a human right that all children deserve. Policy choices, like dismantling the Department of Ed, robs our children of this human right. And it is exactly policy choices that have shaped public education into what it is today. Today, our children suffer from poor educational outcomes, but it's not because of DEI programs or unions. It's because of Trump, far-right politicians, and Democrats who stand idly by, all of whom are backed by billionaires, that have made the policy choice to underfund and under-resource public schools. Trump's attack on the Department of Education is a direct effort to widen the gap between classes through the further oppression of students who are already the least served by our education programs. Students of color, students with disabilities, students living in poverty, and transgender students will all be disproportionately affected by this effort. Trump is further denying these students access to a well-funded and quality education. So what do? We fight. The Department of Education itself arose out of a long and hard-fought struggle against segregation in American schools. It wasn't established by a benevolent and sympathetic politician. It was fought for and won by the people. Now is our time to fight again. It's our time to strengthen our unions and organize our communities. Trump and his billionaire backers will do everything in their power to dismantle the education system that was fought for by the people for all of our people's children, but we will not let them. We will organize our communities, support our parent-teacher organizations, strengthen our unions, and fight together to ensure that all children have well-funded, well-staffed, and well-resourced places of learning.
When Trump says get back, we say fight back. Get back. Fight back. Get back. Fight back. Get back. Fight back. Get back. Fight back. You know, when we look at the crises that are facing our country and our world, you know, we talk about the danger of war. We talk about unemployment and the economic crisis. We talk about inflation. We talk about the cutting of government agencies. But there's major crises beyond that that affect not just us, but all of humanity. And perhaps the biggest of these is the impending climate catastrophe. We know that climate change is man-made. Whatever funding they want to cut to programs that say otherwise, we know that that's true, right? And we know that at the heart of that is our decisions to fund extractive industries, to double down on the mining of coal and the pumping of gas and the unrestrained expelling of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, the pollution of our rivers and streams, and the destruction of our environment. And we know that all of these are done in the name of making money. They're done in the name of good business. And so when we look at the climate catastrophe and the problems and the solutions to those problems, we can really only come to one conclusion, and that is that it is a problem fundamental to the capitalist system itself. So I want you to welcome up our next speaker, which from an organization that is part of fighting for what comes after that. If not this, then what? Because that is the most important question we have to ask ourselves. We can talk about how broken this system is, but we also have to dare to imagine something new, something better, something that is a system that works for everybody in this world and not just to enrich a couple of few people who are not really even going to be very affected by these crises, right? So next up, I want to welcome Selah from the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
And before I get started, can folks come in a little bit closer? We promise we won't bite. We got a lot of people coming in from the back, so we want to get a little close and comfortable. And start us off with a chant. When our only planet is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When our only planet is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Thank you, y'all. My name is Selah, and I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Thank you. You're good. I'll just take it off, actually. We're good. Countless working class people here and across the globe have been thrust onto the front lines of the climate crisis. It's okay. The only way that we can overcome raging hurricanes, wildfires, and heat waves while also defeating the Trump administration and the far right is by fighting for an immediate end to the capitalist system as a whole. Come on. Capitalism has already caused irreversible damage to the planet, locking in decades of increasingly strong and frequent extreme weather events that we have no choice but to rapidly adapt to. But our ruling class insists on doubling down on climate warming war, fossil fuel extraction, and excessive resource extraction. Shame! They've tied us and the rest of the global working class to the roof of a car that they knowingly drive towards a cliff's edge. Shame! Shame! The Trump administration and the far right are rapidly accelerating this drive to oblivion. They're fast-tracking permits to drill for oil and gas while preventing the Environmental Protection Agency from regulating air and water pollution. Shame! Shame! They've handed the keys of energy and environmental agencies to the executives of the very fossil fuel companies who have made billions of dollars off of the climate crisis. Shame! Shame! And they've also begun decimating environmental and climate justice programs and preventing exploited communities from getting access to solar, batteries, and other technologies that can reduce their bills and protect them from climate disasters and power outages. These tactics are rolling back the concessions won by indigenous, ecological, and environmental justice organizers throughout the 70s and 80s, who forced companies to rein in their pollution. The far right wing of the ruling class wants to return to a time when polluted rivers were engulfed in flames, when towns and ecosystems were scorched by acid rain, and when air quality levels were based on the intensity of burning that you felt in your eyes, all so that they can line their pockets. Shame! Shame! Are we going to let them do that? No! I said, are we going to let them do that? No! I didn't think so. And if we don't want that nightmarish past to become a reality, we have to recognize that Trump's extractive agenda is also making it harder for us to defend ourselves against the capitalist class's other fronts of class war, like the gutting of social services and racial justice programs, the political abductions of Mahmoud Khalil or Laka Cordia, who dared to speak out against the genocide of Palestinians, or the kidnapping of union organizers like Gilmar Garcia, or Venezuelan immigrants like Franco Jose Caraballo Tiapa, who were a shade too brown or had one too many tattoos. Shame! Shame! Trump's administration is tightening the noose of repression and pushing some to instinctively turn towards the Democrats for rescue. But the Democrats have willingly handcuffed themselves to the demands of capitalism and imperialism, which they'll always prioritize over the interests of the working class. I'm going to say that one more time. They will always prioritize the interests of capitalism and imperialism over those of you, the working class. Come on now. Capitalism's inherent devotion to ever-expanding markets and ever-increasing profits prevents it from ever developing a sustainable relationship with the planet, let alone the workers like you and myself who it grinds up and spits out. All broken, damn right. Say that again. A broken system. Come on, y'all. Broken system! All the Democrats ever offer us is the capitalist status quo. A status quo where Biden approved more oil and gas drilling permits than Trump did in his first term. Right? Come on now. A status quo where Biden led the U.S. to become the world's biggest exporter of liquefied natural gas, our climate president. Come on. A status quo whose first instinct in the wake of devastating disasters like Hurricane Helene and the LA wildfires was to use police to protect the property of big supermarkets from looting. Shame! Even in an emergency, they'd rather let food rot than save lives. The Democrats constantly co-opt and defang the transformative potential of our social movements. Just look at how they siphon the radical energy of the 2020 movement against police brutality. They took a knee and wore a kente cloth while increasing the number of police, expanding cop cities of surveillance, and intensifying the criminalization of poverty, homelessness, while doing nothing to keep costs from skyrocketing. Hey, I'm talking about both of them. I started off with Trump. And you know what they did? They handed the keys to Trump and the tools to further the war on Black America, and they violently repressed political dissenters. Shame! They fully empowered Trump to thrust even more of the working class into jails and prisons. Shame! Is that a status quo worth saving? Is that a status quo worth saving? Are you willing to fight for more? Come on now. History has shown that the rights and privileges we enjoy were fought for, not handed to us by appealing to the morals of lesser evil politicians like the Democrats. So, our only path to victory is to follow in the revolutionary footsteps of people like Assata Shakur, Fannie Lou Hamer, Fred Hampton, and countless others. We can't just be anti-capitalists. We need to build a movement and join organizations that unify and represent the working class. and empower them and help them realize the power that they ultimately have to collectively replace capitalism with a worker-run system that can prioritize the needs of people and the planet over profits. Come on. Only socialism can direct humanity's resources and knowledge in a way that positively transforms how we get around, how we grow our food, how we power our homes, and how we withstand and survive extreme weather. When our only planet is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Thank you, y'all. That's going to be all from me today. Again, my name is Sailor. I'm from the Party of Socialism and Liberation. Remember to fight for life, fight for humanity, and fight for a future free of exploitation. Thank you.
What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now! You know, when we talk about communities under attack by this administration, the one that comes immediately to my mind is the war being waged against our students. Not just in the public schools, but especially in our universities. Attempts to silence their free speech. Attempts to intimidate them into not speaking out against injustice. This is one of the proudest traditions of a college student. I mean, when you think about a college student, it is almost the stereotypical thing that comes to mind is, oh, you become radical, you get involved in fighting the injustices in the world, right? Yeah. So, but with students, there is also this convergence of not just developing a conscience, but also an exploitation that they can face in their role as TAs, as workers at the university too. And so it's important to talk about the unity of these struggles as well. So I want you to welcome up an organizer with the University of Maryland Graduate Labor Union, who's working on uniting these struggles. My name is Sean, and I am an organizer with the Graduate Labor Union at the University of Maryland, College Park. For the past months, the Trump administration has been incessant in its attacks against higher education, students, and workers alike. First, they came for Mahmoud. Shame! ICE detained him for his courageous involvement in the Columbia University anti-genocide encampments. Then they came from Rumesa. Shame! ICE detained her for her brave words speaking against the genocide in Gaza. Columbia had also expelled the president of the Student Workers Union of Columbia, Grant Minor, for his righteous participation of the demonstrations against the genocide of the Palestinian people. Shame! These are blatant attacks on free speech. But you don't even have to be speaking out for justice to be kidnapped and disappeared. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a working union man in Maryland, was wrongfully deported by the Trump administration. They admitted that it was a mistake, but they refused to bring him home. Now, they have revoked hundreds of international student visas on ridiculous grounds. Student workers around me had their visas revoked at the University of Maryland. Will we let them get away with this? No! Will we let them get away with this? No! None of our fellow students, none of our fellow workers are national security threats. Let them learn and let them stay. I want you to understand, this is a fear tactic to stop us from organizing, from speaking out for one another, for fighting for one another. Did this work? No! Did this work? No! As a student worker in a union, I and everyone else around me understand that an injury to one is an injury to all. This is everyone's fight. This is everyone's fight. So repeat after me. Hands off our workers.
Hands off our workers!
Hands off our students!
Hands off our students!
Hands off our people!
Hands off our people!
Thank you. Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Brothers, sisters, and siblings, when we talk about democracy and we talk about the ability of people to have a say in the issues that govern their lives, we have to understand that in the society that we live in right now, there are very severe limitations on the expression of that democracy, right? We go to the ballots and we vote once every 2 or 4 years. And in the time in between, we just kind of have to watch democracy happen, right? It's happening over there, it's not happening here. But there are important institutions of real democracy that exist in our society today. And one of those is tenant unions. Tenant unions are such an important site of struggle for our communities because so many issues that we are worried about today converge in the home, right? It's everything from high rent, and everybody who lives in the city can empathize with the issue of high rent, right? The rent is too damn high. So people high rent and people being kicked out of their home and fighting back against eviction and making sure that people know their rights. And now we see that ICE raids are coming to homes. And so it's important more than ever that neighbors stand up and fight back and defend others. Is that right? So here in D.C., we are lucky to have such a very powerful and organized and exemplary organization that we can all look to for inspiration and leadership in this fight. And that is at the Woodner Building here in D.C. And so our next speaker is a member of the Woodner Tenant Union. And I want you to welcome him as he comes up.
Hello, everybody. My bad. Okay. My name is Cameron Wooten, and I represent the Woodner Tenant Union. It is clear that we all have a purpose, that we all have meaning, that we all strive for better days, and that we have something that they don't have. We have fight. While they sit in their clubs exclusive to the soulless, we fight for the people not to be homeless. While they ponder their portfolio of stocks, we fight to keep family shell stocks. While they wonder how to keep us down with our face in the ground, we will fight to our feet and stand firmly upon this mound. Woodner's Tenant Union has already started scrapping. We have fought against hundreds of eviction cases, and we will fight 10,000 more. We have battled against our landlord trying to raise rent, and we told them we will fight against them for every cent. Now I must ask, who here is willing to fight? Who here is willing not to walk, but to run towards and fight against the forces of evil that are trying to rule our society? Who here is ready to stand against the oppressors and the cowardly bootlickers who follow them? Join us and know that no matter what, we will fight.
Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education, not for jobs and education. Money for jobs and education, not for jobs and education. Gallaudet University here in D.C.
Excuse me, Sean?
About
Nathan
the
Eldred
ways
is the
that the
associate
Trump
at Press.
administration and the
enjoyed
far
your
right
speech there.
are
Thank you for coming out and
dehumanizing,
raising your voice.
are cutting the much needed and hard-won social
We're
benefit
trying to
programs
get,
that enable people's lives to continue under this system. We cannot ignore the attacks on
video
disabled
coverage
people.
today. I didn't know if you'd be willing.
So I want you to welcome up Elizabeth
I know it's one of
and
the
give her a warm
tough
welcome
things right
as
now.
she
I don't
talks
want
to
to
you
put it
about
on your
the
back.
ways that vital
Yeah, and is it,
provisions to defend the rights of disabled people are under attack.
Perfect. Our goal is to help you guys and amplify it. Absolutely. You know, but I wanted to ask just in case you were willing. And I appreciate it. And keep it a good fight. That's okay. Yeah. I got another student I think coming up here next. So we'll see. Always good to
Hello, I'm a Gallaudet
get
student
as many voices as
organizer.
possible, and thank you again for speaking up.
All right, right now, the far right is coming for disabled people. 17 states are suing to get Section 504, the law that states that we have the right to basic accommodations in school and at work, calling it government overreach. But we know what this is. It's a coordinated attack. It's part of a long-term billionaire agenda to erase the disabled altogether. And I want to interject that disability isn't some distant thing that only happens to other people. Anyone can become disabled at any time. Everyone, if they live long enough, will become disabled one day. Now, these lawsuits are backed by far-right think tanks such as the Pacific Legal Foundation, funded by billionaires and corporations who claim even minimal access is too much. Whose goal it is to dismantle public education, gut any obligations for school and corporations to accommodate disabled people, especially if it cuts into profit. Again, it's a coordinated attack to eliminate disability rights completely, to shift the burden onto us, to turn access into a privilege. We are seen as a threat to productivity, and we can't produce profits fast enough to meet the demands of capital. We're treated as useless, either forced to conform into normal able-bodied workers or left behind, erased from society.
Thank you.
And to emphasize that this is happening in isolation. The Trump administration, under the guise of efficiency, is systematically dismantling programs that millions of people, including and maybe especially disabled people, rely on. Initiating massive cuts at the Social Security Administration and leading to unemployment workforce as well as service disruption. One second. All right, and I can say this because I've lived it. I was put in mainstream public hearing schools at a young age. If it weren't for American Sign Language interpreters and an IEP enforced through 504, I wouldn't have even been able to access my education. I would have been completely left behind. I wouldn't have gotten my high school diploma, and I definitely wouldn't be graduating from university this semester. Without 504, I would have It's not just education. I'm deaf, born into a deaf family, raised on disability benefits, because even before
family was. Pushed below the poverty line just to survive. And I relied on Medicare and Medicaid as a child, and I still do now, as do most people on Social Security. But now the Trump administration is endorsing budget plans that propose significant cuts to Medicaid, potentially impacting millions of Americans to fund $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. Despite public assurances, these actions speak louder than words. If we let them successfully gut 504 without a fight, Social Security is next. Because none of this is about support. This is about survival in a system that alienates us, not just from work, but from every aspect of society. And it's not just individual policy or isolated incidents, but structural. Because even when no disabled people win reforms, we're forced to fight just to maintain them. We've seen this before. The 504 sit-ins, the Capitol crawl. We got 504 and the ADA because disabled people sacrifice, we occupy, protest, and refuse to be silent. Disabled-led struggle is the reason 504 and ADA exists today. And on the topics of Social Security itself didn't happen because the state felt generous. It happened because of increasing pressure from poor, working class, and disabled people. Disability benefits, SSI, Medicare and Medicaid all came out of struggle. And to prove the point about being forced to fight just to hold on to what we've already won. Look at 1984, when Ronald Reagan gutted Social Security and hundreds of thousands lost benefits overnight. Again, working class and disabled people refuse to be silent. Everything we have was fought for, and now they're trying to eliminate it, and the law of its elimination are existence. Both parties, Republican and Democrat, have chipped away at our rights for decades. It didn't start with Trump, and without any of us putting up a fight, it won't end with change. Accommodation is not liberation. It's the form, not the ceiling. And even that form is corrupt. Under capitalism, everything, education, healthcare, all forms of access are treated as a favor, not a right. And right now, a genocide is happening in Gaza. It's a mass disabling event. Gaza currently has the highest number of child amputees per capita in the world. Just like us, disabled Palestinians are left behind, erased from society. However, unlike us, they have no disability benefits, no form of legal protection. So if we care about disability justice, we must not only be for disabled liberation, but the liberation of Palestine as a whole. Because the fight for disability justice is global and tied to every other liberation struggle. Disability justice means abolishing ableism at the root, starting with capitalism. Because this system is designed to push us below the poverty line, to alienate us, to use our existence as a threat to the working class. Comply or end up like that. We're treated as a warning, but we're not a warning. We're a revolutionary force. Not only do we have enough revolutionary potential for the overthrow of this system that pushes us to the margins of society and to lead the dismantling of ableism alongside our comrades, but we can fight for a new system, a socialist system, a system that guarantees not just accommodation, but liberation. Disabled people are not just a side note in this movement, we are the movement. Protect 504, protect Social Security, end the coordinated attacks on our rights, free Palestine, and fight for a just world where deaf and disabled people don't just survive, but thrive.
Who's the bigger dictator, right? Hey, appeal to his narcissism.
I don't think it's a secret to any of us that the far right triumphs through a strategy of divide and conquer.
What's that?
They work by picking minorities to demonize and blame for all of our problems. They say it is the fault of Jews, it is the fault of immigrants, it is the fault of disabled people, that you don't have a good paying job, that you can't afford your rent, that you don't have quality health care, that every other problem in the world that you can name, it's their fault. It's not true. And one of the most important things that we can do in coming out of the streets is rejecting that narrative, isn't that right?
Thank you for your service,
We
sir.
know whose fault it is.
Appreciate you coming out.
It's not the fault of those minorities. It's not the fault of trans people. It's not the fault of immigrants. It's not the fault of Muslims. It's the fault of
They
the
got
ruling
several of them
class.
happening today.
It's the fault of the millionaires.
I'm gonna head to another one here soon. No, that one's gonna be a march back here. I think I'm going to JD
And
Vance.
today, one of the most heinous manifestations
that's
of
gonna
this,
happen, I think,
of this
in
racist
We'll
bigotry
see
and
how big that one
demonization
is.
is
It might not
against
be like
immigrants in this
speakers like this,
country.
but just signs on the streets.
And so one of the most vital
both
things
him
we
and
can
Trump
do is to
are
stand up in defense of
out of
immigrants.
town.
And say they're our neighbors,
On vacation
they're our
in Italy.
friends, they're our family members, they're our loved ones, and we will not let you take
But
that.
I'm trying to interview some folks who felt motivated to come out and protest.
So the next
And I
person
don't know
that
if
I want
either
to
of you would be
welcome up
interested in
to
saying
the
a few words in an
microphone
interview.
is an immigration lawyer from
It's up to you.
Maryland.
I'm trying to get some variety of
She's
perspectives
doing
on
vital work,
why you wanted to
fighting
support the
through the
hands-off
courts,
movement
fighting
and
through the
seeing
legal
how big it
system,
was
such as
earlier
it still
this month.
exists,
Trying to keep that
to
momentum
do
going.
everything
Some
that
of
they
the
can to
questions, so.
keep
That was
people
really
in this country instead
that
of
was really
being
inspiring,
deported.
the first round. And so that's part of the reason why we keep
Because
wanting
the
to be here.
goal
But
is to
we actually drove here
intimidate
from North
people.
Carolina this
The
morning.
goal is to say, I'm going to let it
Stuff
happen to
with
them because I don't want it
and
to
the no
happen
due
to
process
me.
is really,
Yeah.
But we know that that
it's not
strategy
the first
doesn't
thing,
work.
but it's like
It
like I was
doesn't
telling
work.
him, it's like going to
So
work
I
every
want
day.
you to welcome
It's
Grace
hard.
up to the
And I'm like,
stage
how am
to
I
talk
living
about
my
how
life?
we can
Yeah.
fight
These
back
people are
and the
being
work that we must
taken.
support
Taken.
through all
It feels like
necessary
one of those moments
means
where
of
like, they
struggle.
always say, people paying attention, it feels like one of those moments of like, all this really, really bad stuff is
Billionaires
happening.
like
and
Trump
so many
and
people
Elon
don't
Musk
even
want
know
us to
it's
believe that
happening.
immigrants are dangerous,
And the consequences.
but we know that's a lie.
And so, right, if we don't
Immigrant
stop it
workers
now,
want the same
Sure.
thing that American workers want.
Yeah.
They want
Well, if you wanted to do an interview, I'm happy to step a little further out so the sound quality isn't as bad, but we can come right back, of course, afterward. But if you want to do, maybe step over this
We
direction,
know that immigrants are here
and
because they
I
want to
can
live better lives for themselves.
set my microphone up here.
A lot of times they're here because they're fleeing issues that were caused by Americans.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. So we want definitely some of the folks in the background still. So if you could stand right in front of me here, I'll be off to one side of the camera the whole time. If you wanted to look and respond to me, 1 second here to get the cord out. So, to make this a little simpler, what I may have you do is hold the microphone itself, and I'll quick show you the best way to do that. Instead of holding it like vertically like this, you can hold it slightly more angled horizontally like that. That would be ideal. And I'll be off to the side of the camera the whole time, so feel free to look and respond to me. You don't necessarily need to look at the camera itself. Yeah, I think there's just fine. And would you guys want to do it together or individually? I'm here for support. Okay, either way works for me. So let me make sure I got the microphone working here. If you could give a test, just tell me what you had for breakfast.
Granola bar in the car. Yeah.
Gotcha. And if you don't mind starting the interviews the same way I start everyone, just introduce yourself, say and spell first and last, just so I get it correct.
Yeah. My name is Alex Hobson. It's AlexHobson, and I live in Mooresville, North Carolina.
All right. And I mean, talk about the amount of hours you're on the road just to be here at the White House today to join this hands-off protest.
Yeah, so I actually worked last night until about 9 o'clock at night, and we left North Carolina at 4 o'clock this morning so that we could be here on time. Yes, very tiring, but it's very worth it.
What was the motivation? Like, you had to come out and raise your voice. I mean, what are you seeing in our country these days that's really disturbing and you want to raise your voice?
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of things that's happened over the last 3 months that has made it very difficult to live a normal life. But what really pushed us to come to DC right now is the no due process for people like Kilmar Garcia. It just sets a really, really scary precedent if we can just send anybody we want overseas and not give them any due process, and then once they're there we just say, oh, we can't do nothing about it. Oh, we messed up, sorry, oh well. That's, to me, extremely scary, extremely scary.
What precedent do you think that opens up? I mean,
Sure.
that it could not just be for immigrants like Garcia, but
Right.
there was discussions of regular U.S. citizens, whether they're naturalized or born here. Or...
Well, Trump has talked about sending U.S. citizens to El Salvador, and we also know that Florida recently passed a new immigration bill that allows ICE to detain anybody who is suspected of entering the country illegally. And they just had a 20-year-old gentleman in jail for 48 hours, despite having a birth certificate and a social security card proving that he was from the United States. Unfortunately, the county jail said that they could not release him because they would need ICE to come back and get him. That right there, that's an American citizen being held in a jail. And he's lucky that he didn't get deported to another country, and we don't know if we'd ever see him again. So if that can happen, it can happen to anybody.
What's your top 5 things that you want the current Trump administration to have their hands off? Hands off, like you already said, due process, but what else are, I know Social Security.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely hands off our veterans. Our veterans have given the ultimate sacrifice to protect us and for us to live our lives. And it's abysmal to me that anybody would support attacking veterans or taking veterans' rights, firing veterans from the government, over 6,000 already veterans, maybe 20,000 more to come. That's a huge one. Hands off our most vulnerable people. Our seniors are under attack with Social Security. Our disabled people are under attack. The people that need the help the most, our children, are under attack. The Department of Education. Wow. A lot of people in America don't understand how education works and that it's mostly ran by the states and that the federal government is just there to help them. They think the federal government is telling states what they can and cannot do. That's not the case. So that's really concerning for our children. I'm also really concerned for the healthcare industry as a whole. I'm a huge proponent of Medicare for all. I think healthcare is a right for all humans. Nobody should be denied or left dead in a hospital because they can't pay or because they can't prove that they're an American citizen. I just think that that's something that we should care about as humans. What else? Medicare, Social Security,
Yeah, I think those are
veterans.
dignity. How about some dignity? I mean,
Yeah, just overall respect. I mean, if we're talking about the things that Trump needs to stop, like why are we in war with our allies? Why are we attacking Canada? This is ludicrous. This is at the point of what is going on. To me, it's like, I never thought it would get this far, obviously, but I still don't understand how it continues to go further and further.
what's the atmosphere like for you today, being in the crowd, being surrounded by other people who are fed up with what they see going on?
Being at a protest is one of the best things you could ever do. The energy really lifts your spirits. I've been really sad. Like I said, it's hard going to work every day. I feel guilty. I feel personally guilty going to work every day because people are being abducted off the streets and people are losing their benefits. I have co-workers whose families are worried and fleeing this country. I have co-workers whose current school grants are not going through. People's real lives are being affected today, right now. And a lot of it's being done just through executive order. It's not being done through the government. And that's my big question is, how come Trump can't get this passed through his Republican-controlled House and his Republican-controlled Senate? If these are things that Republicans all agree with, then he should be able to make laws, they should be able to pass them and do it the right way and not push through things with executive power or just straight up ignoring the courts. That's all.
For anyone who watches this, what words of advice or wisdom would you give to not just stand idly by, not be complacent, do something to fight back?
So I would say to anybody that feels like they want to do something or they feel helpless, first of all, whatever you can do is enough. Don't ever feel bad because you can't show up at an event or because you have to go to work. I work a full-time job and it's hard for me to sometimes go to events because I have to balance, supporting my family and also doing what I think is right. It's very challenging, it's very hard, but I would say for anybody who's thinking about it, do it. The environment's amazing. You meet tons of amazing Americans who are here to fight for you and for everybody. They're wonderful events. But if you can't go to a big event, look at your local parties. There's a lot of things going on in all your counties and all your towns and all your cities. There's lots of events going on. You might not hear it on the news. You might not hear it on Facebook, but if you search it, you'll find it. I didn't even hear about this protest until 3 days ago when we went on Google and we just searched protests coming up soon because we wanted to be at one and we saw it was here and that's how we ended up here.
Talk about this momentum. Earlier this month you had the first and very huge hands-on protest and you guys are trying to keep it going. I think it's tough to match those numbers, but it's how exciting and motivating was seeing that. Was that part of your reason?
So I think it was extremely inspiring to see over 3.5 million Americans show up collectively across this country with people from all over the world to come and do what's right. They're just here trying to protect freedom in America. And it is very inspiring, and I do think that it's going to make a change. We can see some of the changes happening. Some Republicans are feeling the pressure from some of the events that like Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative AOC are having. They're feeling the pressure. They're seeing the momentum from there. Personally, I would really like to see one big march in DC, one collective march with millions of people. And I would really love to see our Democratic leadership make that call. I think that millions of people are just sitting on the couch waiting for our leaderships to call for us. We're waiting. We just want them to say, give us the day, give us the time. These events are great all over the country, and we should keep doing them over and over. But if we're going to get past this, we need the leadership at the top. And we obviously know Democrats have not been everything we want them to be, but they can be that in this moment, and we can be the change. And personally, I'm a huge Bernie fan, and I really would love to see Bernie Sanders call for this march. I think he could bring a huge amount of people. We live in North Carolina. Even in North Carolina, Bernie is extremely popular. I mean, he's just been fighting for the people his entire life. He's consistent and people can trust him, and that's what I think is most important about him, is even Republicans that I talk to will say that they respect him and they trust him because of his consistency, and I think that's really important.
How do you personally view how we should frame this fight? Is it Republicans versus Democrats, or is it the working class versus the billionaires? I've just heard that more.
It's the working class versus the billionaires, and it boils down to freedom. In my opinion, Trump does not love freedom. Everything he's doing is to take away freedom from the people he doesn't like. Freedom means that you are allowing people to disagree with you and to agree with you, and that's okay. We can agree and disagree, but when you go and start suing people because they disagree with you, or you're deporting people out of the country because they said something you don't like, that's not American, that's not freedom. And if anybody cares about freedom, Republicans or Democrats right now, they should be out. And this is what it's all about. It's about protecting freedom in this country.
Anything else you'd like to add?
We just encourage people to get out into the streets and peacefully protest.
Stay peaceful, do everything you can, talk to the people in your lives. I think a lot of people stopped talking politics because it got difficult. But now we're in the situation where we have to talk about it. I talk to people at work every day that have no idea that any of this is happening. I don't understand how that's going on, other than we're not talking about it enough. So share with your friends, share with your families, share with your coworkers, and love America.
Thank you, Andy, for coming out and for helping me tell the story. I really appreciate it. It's nice to meet you both, and safe travels back down to North Carolina. All right, who's next? Anyone? I'm just kidding. He's good. He's good. Thanks again. Yeah.
I think he covered all the points.
Yeah.
Who are you with? What's your...
AP.
Are you?
Yeah. Yep.
How are you guys? Good ads right now.
I can't wear red because people would just automatically like be like, oh no.
100% agree with you.
Yeah, you made a good point. Yeah.
You should put them on the shelf though, so you like you look at them like stupid organization.
No, yeah, I don't think that.
Local entrepreneurs from Baltimore.
Free Palestine!
siblings, thank you so much for coming out today. As I said, we are building a community of resistance to fascism and to the far-right agenda, and it starts right here today. Because we understand that the true power in society lay not in the halls of the White House or Congress, but here in the streets with the people. This is where things are decided. The people have all the power. Say it with me, the people have all the power. The people have all the power. The people have all the power. Never forget it. In this moment, we have to look at previous threats of fascism, either against the labor movement in the 1930s, Jim Crow fascism in the 1950s and 60s, or going beyond going against fascism against our LGBTQ siblings. The lesson is never to simply seek influence in corrupt and unjust systems, but to demand popular power and to organize independently of it. So, while this demonstration today is concluded, we can't let this be the end of our organizing. There have been many organizations that have spoken here today, and I encourage you to look them up. Talk to the organizers here. Find out how you can plug in and get involved. Because this movement doesn't end today, it doesn't end tomorrow, and we have to stay mobilized, we have to stay in the streets, and we have to keep fighting until everybody is free. The people united will never be defeated! 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 Show me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Show me what democracy looks like! Democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. When I say people, you say power. People. 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 Power.
Not for war
Excuse me, sir. Can I see your sign? Oh, that's a good one. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I like the labor rights. That's one I haven't heard like top of mind for a lot of folks. So it's important. Hey, Greg. And I heard you earlier. I was just passing by, but I'm with Nathan Elgren with the Associated Press and trying to interview some of the folks who have come out to raise their voice for certain things that they don't want to be attended. And I don't know if you'd be interested in doing a quick interview to share your perspective on why labor and maybe unions or the right to organize is so important at this point in time. Happy to kind of talk through it a little bit more if you are interested.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, awesome. I used to work for an international NGO, Worker Rights NGO.
Sure. I was outside USAID and talked to a lot of folks.
Yeah, so we were funded by USAID and US Department of Labor, and I used to work at US Department of Labor first. And we were living in Bangladesh until less than a week ago, and then my job got dosed. So because we lost all our funding for our programs.
So you had to come back to the States?
Yeah, so now we're just like couch surfing. Yeah.
That is wild, and I think talking to folks who've been directly impacted is so important, and sharing their perspectives, their voice, and how crazy this overwhelming attack has been for so many civil servants.
Yeah.
Just were there to dedicate their lives to a public, not a private, probably job that they could have gotten a lot more money for if they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that people ask us all the time in Asia, like such a coveted position, a government position. And the reason it's coveted in a lot of countries is because it is corrupt in many places. Like, you can't leave it kickbacks. That's how you make money as a government official. It's not here.
No,
like,
different.
When I try to explain to them how rigorous our checks and balances are, like, I remember I worked at UML, like, we had to pay into the water club in order to get water out of the water cooler.
Like public restrooms, I'm sure cost money and stuff. Yeah. Oh gosh. Well,
waste and fraud and corruption.
Oh my gosh. And that's what this is in the name of, which is somewhat ironic for sure. If you are interested, let's go slightly off just in case they start doing the loudspeaker again, so you get a little better audio. Maybe down the street here a little bit.
So right, like this.
And let me quick just set up my microphone here. and then I'll kind of talk you through how this works. So the interview itself is taped, it's not live. If you wanted to, like, at any point stop and restate and answer, go for it.
Okay.
You have that freedom. So the pressure's off on that regard. And I'll be off to this side of the camera the whole duration as well. So feel free to look and respond to me.
Okay.
You don't have to look at the camera. I think that makes it a lot easier. I really tangled myself here on this gourd. I just did an interview not too long ago. Really hoping to have it detangled just enough for this to work out. Give me 1 second here.
Brian, you want to help? Brian's
I used to do audio visual work also.
Yeah, hopefully this is tangled just enough. We'll see. Yeah, I'm just holding too many things right now, which is going to be the issue, so. Alright, I appreciate that. And if you need that, there you go. Perfect. Double check here. Alright. Hello? I think we can get going here. I think for the sake of having a little better audio, if you wanted to hold it, but not vertically like this, yeah. So you know. So, and you don't have to have it super close. You can have it slightly down, and I should be able to get you in there.
Okay.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. And I always kick interviews off the same way. If you don't mind just introducing yourself, say and spell first and last, just so I get it correct.
Sure. My name's Monica Hartzell. It's Monika Hartzell, Hartseo.
And can you describe where you most recently called home and how you are, somewhat impacted as far as the federal workforce cuts that have been happening under this administration?
Yeah, so most recently I called home the beautiful country of Bangladesh. I was employed by a non-governmental organization that was funded mainly by USAID and the U.S. Department of Labor, U.S. Department of State, and suddenly those funds were cut off, effectively ending all our programs. I had to lay off over 100 people, and then I got laid off myself. So now back here in the DC metro area for less than 1 week, couch surfing and trying to figure out how I can continue to live my values through my work when my entire field seems to be destroyed.
Yeah, I think it's almost unrelenting the areas that they're focusing on through these federal cuts. And can you kind of discuss why you were motivated to raise your voice about it? Come to this hands-off protest today and say, yes, we need things like USAID. We need these agencies that are under attack through all these federal funding cuts.
Yeah, well, I really believe that worker rights are a fundamental tenet of democracy. Like, a lot of people in authoritarian regimes all over the world, the first time that they really get to practice democracy is through a trade union. Like, just the power of being able to elect people who represent you, who can help you secure a wage to feed your family, safe working conditions. That's really powerful. And I've been, for the last 3 years, trying to defend democracy overseas in a really difficult environment, and I never thought that I would be back here defending democracy in my own country. I mean, I always thought if I ever got expelled from where I was, it would be because of that authoritarian regime, not because of this one. So it's very, very shocking, and I also learned a lot about protest in Bangladesh. I learned from a lot of really brave young people who stood up for their rights against a fascist government at great risk to their personal safety, and it inspired me. And so I told all of my colleagues and friends back in Bangladesh that when I got back to the U.S., my new full-time job would be Andolon. It means protest in Bangla. And so, yeah, that's why I'm here today.
Talk about the energy this gives you. I mean, you faced pretty hard times recently. Being in this crowd, hearing the chants, seeing the signs, being amongst people who have a like-minded resistance mindset moving forward. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels really empowering. I think it's great to see people out all over, not just here in the nation's capital. Like my parents out in Wisconsin are out in the street every week. I think you're seeing people from all walks of life who care about different things, but ultimately we care about our country, and we care about our democracy, and it's inspiring to see everybody out here. I hope it continues. I think protests are meant to be disruptive. We say we're in the streets, but we're in a park. It'd be good to see even more activism. I think we gotta really stand up. The time is now. Democracy is really fragile. It can, I've seen it around the world, how quickly a democracy can crumble, and I really hope it won't happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. What words of advice or encouragement would you give anyone watching to participate in some way, shape, or form, to not just be complacent, not just stand idly by as this is evolving?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many ways to get involved. I think, call your congresspeople. We really need Congress to take action. We need them to do their jobs. Get out wherever you are, protest locally, get involved in different activist movements for causes you care about. And yeah, just don't stand by. Get up off the couch and out in the streets.
Yeah. That inspiration that you had from all the young protesters in Bangladesh, it's uncomfortable, but I think it's really important to share perspectives like yours, people who are directly impacted. It's not, I mean, it's something I faced resistance, and I just want to showcase that people like you.
No hate, no hate in our state, no fear. No hate, no hate in our state, no fear. No hate, no hate in our state, no fear. No hate, no hate in our state, no fear. No hate, no hate in our state, no fear. No hate, no hate in our state, no fear. No hate, no hate.
I just want to make sure I didn't absolutely drop out. I was on there. Oh, excellent.
Great.
Excellent.
looks like. What democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy
have in place.
President of the United States. Hey, look, we're gonna walk up Pennsylvania Avenue.
I know, I was like, what is the protest about? All of this! It's our dystopian hellscape. I mean,
You okay? Oh yeah. Shoot. AP. Yep. What do you got there?
I get a picture.
It's a sock puppet. JD sock puppet. Sock puppet.
Can I take a picture?
Sure, man.
Thank you.
They're eating the cats.
They're eating the
cats. They're eating the dogs. What about the dogs?
There's a sign over there saying they're eating the checks. They're eating the balances.
妈妈是我的心肝宝贝，她值得最好的。想帮助睡眠，促进排便，我为妈妈选太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌。知道妈妈总舍不得买给自己，我来买。希望妈妈睡得香，假巴黎。现在就上快点购母亲节太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌宠爱妈咪超值专区，享各项健康好礼最高3重送，满5000加送520元购物金。透过中天新闻网 App 下单或输入 CTI 推荐码，每单再减50元哦。